Greetings, hello everyone. I'd like to wish everyone a good day. I hope all the dreamers and mystics out there are doing well. I've decided to do a double tarot reading today. I'm going to be using the Chrysalis Tarot and the Paulina Tarot, two of my favorites, of course. And I already drew the cards, but I haven't looked at them yet. I drew 5 cards from each one. It's kind of a gray day here. It's kind of like the beginning of winter almost. So I guess it's going to be cozy this winter, but it might be a little bit of too much cabin fever, so I'm going to have to take some good walks and make sure I get a lot of fresh air. Just so I don't get too bogged down with all these winter months. I'm sure a lot of people feel the same way, depending on what climate you're living in, I guess. Okay, let's get started with this. I'm hoping that the tarot cards will kind of inspire some cool interpretations and some interesting ideas. I'm not really doing it in a strict divination way. I'm kind of more interested in the imagery and what it evokes in different ways. Okay, let's look at the first card of the Chrysalis Tarot. Whoa, this is the Star card. This is really pretty. And they named this card LP. I'm not sure what type of character that is, but it's interesting. There's like 4 horses of different colors, and then there's kind of a goddess figure reaching down from the sky, holding onto a star. This card is always kind of magical to me. It's kind of like a card that is about hope and seeing the bright side of things. The next card is Sorceress, the High Priestess. Whoa, I like how they made her basically a witch in this card. That's really cool. I like the way she has this like cauldron bubbling, and she has a crow there, a couple of crows, and she just looks like she's really mesmerized by this incantation that she's doing. That's very inspiring. Then we have the Companion, which is the King of Spirals. I'm not sure what this card would be about. King of Spirals. Doesn't really remind me of anything. Maybe it could be leadership? I don't know. It's interesting. If you have an interpretation for this one, go ahead. 4th card, the Minstrel, King of Stones, another king card. That's interesting. It's weird because I don't want to just fall back on a stereotype of what a king is as a character, because that just seems kind of boring, or like, I'm not a huge person who believes in gender roles. I think people should define themselves and have their own identity that includes their gender but isn't really based on society's idea of their gender. So I don't really care about kings that much. And the tarot, the king could probably mean a couple of different things. Like we've got the Companion and the Minstrel. I don't know. They seem like, to me this kind of makes me think of rebellion. Like there are these older figures, such as the kings, and we want to see them as wise, but we're not sure if they are wise or not. So I think it just reminds me of rebellion against old ideas, and also it reminds me of just not judging someone by their stereotype or who you think they are as a character or whatever. Just like getting to know someone and seeing, like, do they actually have leadership qualities, or maybe not. Just because someone's old doesn't mean they're wise, maybe. I don't know. That's what I would think about that. Let's see what this one is. Okay, this last card of the Chrysalis Tarot is the Three of Mirrors. This is really interesting. There's a lion and a lamb, and then there are some mirrors in the background. Let me think about what this one could mean. It's peaceful. Maybe it could mean, I feel like it could mean getting in touch with your true identity. For instance, if you have a fierce side of you represented by the lion and you have a gentle side represented by the lamb, they don't have to be against each other. They can be on good terms. I really like that because I've been thinking about the quality of being gentle recently and how I can be more gentle through what I say. Because that's the main way that I communicate, is through my speech, obviously. And sometimes if I get frustrated, I tend to lose sight of that gentle quality that I want to have. It's a really important value and a really important quality to me. This is a good reminder to me of being gentle. And even if you are a strong person, everyone's a really strong person, like the lion represents, it doesn't mean you can't be gentle at the same time. And I think the mirrors are what reminded me of the identity that plays into this card. Yeah, that's really interesting. I like that. Okay, so now I'm going to move on to the Paulina Tarot. First card is the Eight of Wands. It's kind of like the swiftly moving projection or something, because you see all the wands are pointing in the same direction. Seems like this lady is being carried along by the direction that these wands are going in. And I think this could be either good or bad, because you could say that if she made the decision to follow these wands, like the wands could represent social norms again. If she made a conscious decision that she agrees with these ideas, then that's fine. But if she just has a habit of following along, it might not be that useful. She might want to break free of this cluster of wands that are all going in the same direction, and she might want to do something different. The next card is the King of Wands. This is interesting. We're getting a lot of kings. I don't know. To me, okay, once again, I don't really like its typical characters. It's kind of boring to me to have a typical character. So when I see these three kings that are coming up, I'm thinking I want to rebel against these old ideas, and I'm thinking I want to not really have leadership, because leadership almost implies that other people are following, and I don't think anyone needs to follow anyone else. I think everyone can think for themselves. So I feel like, to me, when the kings come up right now, I am thinking it's like an invitation to look deeper, to get to know the details of a person or a situation. Look deeper and don't characterize people based on who you want them to be. That's interesting. That reminds me of an epiphany I had yesterday, that I've been unhappy with different people in my life because I was really holding up the way that I wanted them to be, which obviously is very self-centered. But as soon as I could let go of that and be like, well, what did I expect from these people? Like, they are who they are. And I felt like this huge release kind of in my heart center when I realized that I need to just appreciate people for who they are. And it doesn't mean that I won't set boundaries about what I allow into my own life. Like I was saying, I want really gentle qualities in my life and peacefulness and respect. But at the same time, it's not fair of me to have an expectation of others they are who they are. And then it's up to me whether or not, it's someone that I want to communicate with or not, based on what boundaries I've set. But it's kind of interesting. I've seen a lot of that on Pinterest recently. I feel like a lot of people are kind of realizing that they only want friends and family and others in their lives who are uplifting and positive and respectful and peaceful. And I know it's kind of hard in different work situations to always have that, but I like how everyone has a sense of their respect. It's really cool. That's something that I've learned as I've gone along. I feel like I've been definitely someone who is maybe a little too accepting in some ways of I don't know, like maybe I'm thinking well, a better way to put it would just be to say that I want to have my own sense of peacefulness, and it's really, really great. Okay, that was a lot of ideas from those cards. Let's see the last three. Let's see what these are. The Page of Cups. This card seems like a joyful card. It's almost like a type of celebration, and it reminds me of a connection to nature too. So it's joyful celebration and connection to nature. It's really good. This card I have different feelings about. I feel like it's a little bit negative. It's like, it could be good because you see this person is hanging out above the fray, but you get this sense that they're kind of letting down some of their responsibilities because they're not joining in, maybe. So maybe they're letting down some of their responsibilities. And the last card is the Knight of Swords. This card is kind of creepy to me. I feel like it's kind of a character, like in a theatrical production or something, who's kind of like the villain. And you see the villain like creeping around with some kind of mask on or something. And it's kind of like foreshadowing. Okay, so if I was going to do an overview of these cards, I would say, I don't know, like life, it's kind of a mishmash. I mean, it's a lot of cards, obviously. I definitely have some favorites here. The Three of Mirrors was the most interesting one to me. I feel like this one evoked the most different ideas for me. Okay. Thanks a lot for tuning in. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you next time.